Alright, this is a bit of short notice. I'd like to thank everybody for watching this little YouTube video. Tonight we're going to analyze the Romance of the Three Kingdoms PV trailer. Well, trailers. There's one in English and there's one in Japanese that dropped a couple of months ago, and I haven't gotten around to dealing with the analysis of those trailers because of real life issues. So with that said, let's get the analysis started with PV1. This is the English trailer, by the way, not the Japanese. Okay, there's Guan Yu. Diplomacy and strategy on a single map. Okay, we're supposed to fill the area with colors. Okay, now let me back up a bit here. Right about there. Alright. You notice all of this red that has blue spheres right on it. This leads me to believe that if you take over a capital city, that you will take over most of the. If you take over a city directly in the path of all of this, directly in the path of your countries, then all of this will turn into the color of your army. Okay, let me back up. Let me back up just a smidge forward. So basically what we have here is Cao using a tactic and he was able to convert all of this red, formerly red, and turn it into blue real easily. This is either placate or coax or what have you. Let's continue. There's the women of ROTK and the great generals. Okay, we have over 1,000 unique officers. In my memory, ROTK didn't have 1,000 famous officers. So obviously they would have to create some based on history, based on fiction, basically. Let's continue. Ruler play with boundless possibilities. Yes, I have played the demo live on Twitch. I'll drop a link in the description. And there is unlimited possibilities on the what you can do as a ruler. Let me back up a bit. And right there. Now, this next sequence is bonds in action, I believe. So, let's go. First, you had XIV and Cao Cao executing a bond tactic. Next, you'll have Guan Yu, Liu Bei, and Zhang Fei executing a bond tactic. Now, these are, if my memory serves me correctly, these are historical bonds, not a bond created out of fiction. Let's go. And then, of course, you have Liu Bei surrounding Cao Cao and his smirk. And you have the title. Now, this is going to be out of the ordinary for me. We have a new release date of February 28th, 2020 for English, and January 16th, 2020 for Japan. Now, I don't know what Europe's release date is. I don't necessarily follow Koei Temco Europe, but it's going to be released on PS4, Steam, and that's it. So let's continue. And our pre-order bonus is the Battle of Li Ling, and it's going to be available on the PlayStation Store / Steam for 2 weeks after the game's release. So if you buy it early, there is the Battle of Li Ling ready to go as an additional scenario for you. All right. And then, of course, they take us out. All right, next is PV2. And this one's in Japanese. So you're going to hear a lot of Japanese speech in the video. I do apologize for those of us in the English-speaking world. So with that said, let us take this trailer and bare bones it. Now, let me back up about right there. All right. Now, this is 3 of the 5 Tiger Generals with Zhang Yu, and Liu Bei. Let's continue. Now, this is entirely new. This is your overview of the world, basically. And you have Wei, Shuhan, Cao Wei, Shuhan, and Eastern Wu displayed on the map. And you notice that Eastern Wu is all the way down here, down below the video right there. So you notice that looking over the map, you notice that the 3 kingdoms are divided. This is where the point of the history is going to become, and eventually Sima Yi takes over Wei. Lu Shan surrendered Wu to the Jin Dynasty, and then Eastern Wu fought to the bitter end. So, so with that said, let's continue. Okay, right here we have rulers from we have the map as divided by the Han Dynasty. Oh, let me go back a bit. Right there. Now we have, this is the setup for the Battle of Tiger Pass or Luhao Gate. So we have Cao Cao over here in Chenlu. We have Liu Bei over up here in Pingwang. And you have Kongrong and Tato Quan and Wan Shu. And then, of course, you could barely see Wan Shao. So, with that said, where this point in history is going to be is that Dong Zhuo basically took over the Han Dynasty, and he's using the Emperor as a puppet. And Cao Cao devised a plot to unite the lords of all the lands and go after Dong Zhuo to kill him. Ultimately, this is a plot of, if you read the novel at all, this is ultimately the plot of Wan Shao, who ultimately wanted to dispose Dong Zhuo from power. And ultimately, he succeeded. But not because of any external forces, but rather internal forces in the form of Liu Bu and Dato Chan. So, with that said, let us continue. そのすべてが一枚マップで展開。4万以上のヘックスからなる大陸全土を優れた戦略で支配する。部隊の足跡が領地になる。拠点を選び、出陣部隊を設定。Now, this is, if my memory serves me correctly, at this portion of the map, Cao Cao, Exile Dun, and Zhu Lu, I believe that's his name, is going to invade Tato Quan, or rather Liu Bei. I don't necessarily recognize the color. Actually, yeah, he is going to invade Liu Bei. So, with that said, let's continue. Now you have Gonsun Zan invading Wan Shao. Okay, right here we have Liu Bei executing a tactic, and in the next frame you have his main advisor doing the same. Now this is Zhao Yu. Say hello, Zhao Yu. Hello, Zhao Yu. And we are going to him executing a tactic. Okay, now we come to the meat and potatoes of the video. You have troops from Liu Bei building a base, basically. First it's stone. First they're building a stone base. Now you have now you have Wei officers building a archery tower. Now, in the Battle of Guandu, I theorize that the reason why they don't keep towers or rams or catapults into service very long is because it's very, very expensive to build and transport the siege weapons. And as you can see, you're taking thousands of men just to build one catapult tower, archery tower. I'm sorry. Now boats are often not counted unless you're in the Battle of Chibi. Now you have the advisors of ROTK. Okay, now this is the part, if you saw my last live stream of ROTK 14, this is the part where you will immediately recognize. And let me fast forward a bit. Let me rewind it a bit. And right there. Okay. Now, this is the part where you will immediately recognize as new content. This is the council. And you have officers suggesting orders. And you have to choose which ones is going to be approved or denied based on your hard assets at the time. So this number right here represents supplies, I believe. And they're suggesting golden supplies, and this is some people are suggesting orders based on certain factors in the game, based on ground conditions, basically. Now, in the next frame, now there's this guy right here suggesting we throw a banquet, I believe, and this is what Liu Bei does, and he orders a banquet being thrown. Why? I don't know. Maybe the men's morale is down and he needs to increase the men's morale. So a banquet would definitely be a good thing to do. So next, moving on. Now this frame right here is men getting ready to move out. Basically. Diplomacy. Now, let's go back a bit to, let's focus on this map right here. Because we're going to go back to a bit to right about there. Okay, we have ground conditions right now. We have Tato Kwan and Liu Bei basically commingling in XIV. And you have Kongrong in the north. And you have Wan Shao in north of them. And you have Wan Shao north of the north of Lubu and Cao Cao, getting ready to wipe out Gonsanzan. Liu Bei is taking over one of Cao Cao's cities. And he's going to try to wipe out Cao Cao. But ultimately, in history, Cao Cao devises a plan that would wipe out Liu Bei. Oh, and if we go back a bit, again, I just spotted this. You will notice that Wan Shao has moved from Wan to Sochang, and by way of a failed invasion of Cao Cao. Now, you'll notice right here, this is the government frame-up. This is Liu Bei's government frame-up. This is based on ground conditions, the number of generals he has, and what have you. This is his government flowchart. Basically, Liu Bei is organized his government, hasn't organized his government, but he does have one low-lying exception in that Liu Bei has Zhu Jun. I cannot speak his name today. Let's call him Kong Ming. Has Kong Ming in his prime minister slot. Next, we have a brief overview of Cao Cao, with Cao Cao's portrait in the way. And you notice this guy right here is, I believe he is, Zun Yu, in his prime minister slot. Next, we have, drumroll please. Next, we have Sun Quan. Sun Quan's government flowchart. And you notice that Zhao Yu is right there. Let's continue. Now you have Liu Bei, I can't speak English today. I can't speak Chinese today. Wan Shu, and Dong Zhuo's government flowcharts. Now this is Xiao's. This is Xiao Dun. This is Xiao Wan, and I don't know who this guy is. So let's continue. Now this is Zhang Fei and Guan Yu and Kong Ming. Now this is Gan Ning and Zhao Yu. There's Dato Chan. Now this is the boast that they have over 1,000 officers in the game. Now, this is going to drop, like I said in the previous video, this is going to drop on the 16th of January 2020 in Japan. It's rated Serial A, which means it's for everybody. And now you notice pricing right here. It's going to be 9,680 yen and on PlayStation, and 10,780 yen on Steam. Why? There's a reason. There's probably a reason why it's priced that way. But just know up front that Valve takes 30% of all income. Now, there's the Battle of Now, this is again the Battle of Li Ling as a pre-order bonus 2 weeks after release. Now, this is where I'm going to have a bone to pick with Koei. Right here. The treasure box is Japanese only. They will not release this in the US as far as I know. Otherwise, I would have pre-ordered it. But you have cards, you have the soundtrack, and you have the game itself for about 15,180 yen and 16,280 on Windows. But neither here nor there, there is a reason why I have a bone to pick with Koei. Where is this stuff for the American audience? Seriously. We want to give you money. But we want to give you money, but you won't release the stuff that's necessary to release this stuff on. We can't throw you money because for products that we won't actually receive. Let's take, for example, Steam, for example. Let me pull up Steam while I have you. Let me pull up my wish list. My top 12 wish list items. Romance of the Three Kingdoms 1, Japanese only. Romance of the Three Kingdoms 2, Japanese only. Romance of the Three Kingdoms 3, Japanese only. Romance of the Three Kingdoms 4 with a power-up kit. That's Japanese only. Romance of the Three Kingdoms 5, Japanese only. Romance of the Three Kingdoms 6 with power-up kit. Japanese only. Romance of the Three Kingdoms 7 with power-up kit. That's Japanese only. Ditto with 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Now, what in the heck is Koei's problem here? You don't release the stuff we want to buy. And I was asked this question the other day. I was asked this question the other day. What do you recommend that I play these games on? I would have given them the simple answer, buying them on Steam, if they were to release it in English. But I can't. I would have to recommend original hardware. As you can see, I have my NES and my PlayStation 2 right here. I would have to recommend original hardware, and then go and find the mom and pop stores that sell Romance of the Three Kingdoms and buy them. I would clean their houses just to buy one game. I nearly did. Why? Why aren't you going to release it in simple English? Why don't you translate the early games in simple English and make it a gift to American audiences and European audiences in the English-speaking world on Koei's 35th anniversary? Alright, my rant is over. I am Sanji Himura. I'd like to thank you for watching this analysis, and I will see you guys in the next video.